Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Can we talk about Jem and the Holograms? Yes, hello. Here we are again, the Can We Talk About podcast. Can we talking in our classic sense this week, Kristen, about a classic tale, wrapped in the facade of a blonde woman who herself is wrapped in the facade of a pink lady, not named Rizzo. I am, of course, talking about that show that we are a very dear friend of, that Neon Nightmare, that pastel phantasm, that oh so frighteningly fashionable 80s cartoon, air quotes classic, Jem and the Holograms. Where's the beast? I'm Joe.
I'm a tale as old as time. I'm Kristen.
And we are watching Jem and the Holograms via Shout Factory's Jem and the Holograms Truly Outrageous Complete Series box set, as well as the wonderful world of Netflix. Kristen, what are you on the Netflix, watching on the Netflix, this Netflix?
I don't think I started watching anything. When I saw you approaching in your notes, the thing we do every single week of asking about Netflix, I froze up for a second. And I stared off into space, 100-yard stare, and I was like, oh no, I have nothing to contribute.
Wonderful. I started watching Star Trek Voyager again because I gave it up pretty quickly because I wanted to watch Star Trek Deep Space Nine instead of alternating episodes, and Star Trek Voyager is fucking stupid, but it's the good kind of stupid.
I did start listening to a new podcast.
Do tell.
I heard a recommendation on a different podcast I listen to, one of my 3 Game of Thrones recap podcasts I listen to every single week. I like hearing people's opinions and then being like, that's a bad opinion. And the other podcast is called Buffering the Vampire Slayer.
So it's a Buffy podcast, I assume?
It's a Buffy rewatch podcast. And the thing I like a lot about it is that the 2 women who host it, every single episode that they do, at the end of the episode, they write a short recap song about the episode. And they're really good at songwriting. Dang.
Sounds like something we should have done for this.
Unfortunately, neither of us are super musically inclined.
Little late in the game to start adding new stuff in like that too.
Well, we have songs from the episodes.
As far as our episode of Jem goes this week, Kristen, it is called Beauty and the Rock Promoter, which of course is based on Cinderella! Now it's based on Beauty and the Beast.
Oh.
Now the interesting thing about this episode, Kristen, now people like you and I, who I was born the year that Beauty and the Beast came out, and you were born 2 years after, so our frame of reference for Beauty and the Beast is the movie.
Hey Joe.
Yes.
So, what you were saying is that this episode came out before the Disney Beauty and the Beast movie. Let me tell you, that didn't occur to me when I was watching this episode.
This, aired in 1988. Beauty and the Beast came out in 91.
Yikes. I mean, a lot makes sense suddenly. Like how garbage the supposed rock opera is in this.
And obviously as well, both Beauty and the Beast here and the Beauty and the Beast movie are taken from the classic French fairy tale, which predates this quite a bit, Kristen. It was published in 1740 first.
Yeah, well, yes. I understood it was an old story.
And of course, since it's the 80s here, we gotta update it for our new rock and roll lifestyles. Turbines, electricity, electric guitar.
Yeah, that works. And just the worst outfits.
It is an interesting episode for sure, Kristen, so let's step to it.
Me and my friends are Jam Girls. Jam is my name. Exciting adventure, fashion, and fame. Once you're a Jam girl, you're never the same. Come on and be a Jam girl. Jam is my name. Me and my friends are Jam Girls. Jam is my name. Truly outrageous.
Kristen, this episode was written by Claire Noto. IMDb attributes a Claire, C-L-A-I-R, where the episode shows C-L-A-R-E, and we have seen, Jaina, whatever, Bakar, previously, name misspelled. The only writing credit that they have, other than this, is from some show from the later 90s, mid to later 90s, called The Hunger, which seems like it's an anthology series about vampires, so it's like The Twilight Zone, I guess, and David Bowie was one of the hosts. So David Bowie's Rod Serling, which is amazing, and I would like any anthology series directed by David Bowie, or just like have him. Well, I would like episodes of The Twilight Zone with David Bowie in them, actually.
Just have him around.
Which I think I just described Twin Peaks.
Booyah.
We start in very fashionable Britain. You could tell because Big Ben and Parliament.
And the worst accents.
We got Parliament, but no Funkadelic to be found. Boom! We got fashionable British ladies walking down the street. They're going, "You should hear Jim's new single. It's absolutely brilliant."
I'm Jenna's sister.
Retta!
Retta's not a bad name. I don't know why I gave my commentary in an accent as well.
We're introduced to Red Johnny Mac here, who the ladies just like kind of walk past his window, and he's on the phone here. He name drops himself immediately, so we can get right into it here.
It's me, Red Johnny Mac. I'm not Sean Harrison.
The person on the other line wants new faces instead of the Rockets, which, Kristen, we're given a lot of this information very quickly here. I assumed at first, Red Johnny Mac, oh, he must be the lead singer of the Rockets. No, not the case.
No, he's a rock promoter. Thanks, title of the cartoon.
He is the aforementioned rock promoter, which also gives away the ending here, but Rodney and the Rockets arrive. They are the band, the Rockets here. Oh, what a pleasant surprise. How's it going, Rodney and or the Rockets? How are you doing? I'm Red Johnny Mag.
Well, the Rockets are angry and attempt to beat Red Johnny Mac until he bleeds pounds, I guess.
Apparently, Red Johnny Mac is British Eric Raymond because he owes a lot of money to the Rockets.
He seems younger and a lot more bumbling.
We have partial instrumentation from Bad Influence playing in the background for some reason as Rodney pushes Mac out the window, out of a window, a ground floor window, but a window nonetheless.
That's the favorite device of episodes about Broadway musicals for some reason. I know it's not America, so it's not technically Broadway, but if you remember, in Broadway Magic, the window cleaner falls one story, half a story. Mac
is sent running because of this. He heads to a club here where Truly Outrageous is playing in the background, and Kristen, watch Jem. She's on a TV screen in here like it's a Hard Rock Cafe, and they're playing music videos or something, nice. But Jem is in her Hollywood Jem outfit as the scene goes on, and then at one point she, in the music video, is in her glitter and gold outfit, and then is back to her Hollywood Jem outfit by the end of it.
When did this get filmed?
So some loan shark, we don't know who these guys are. I don't even think one of them is named, like, Walter, maybe? I don't remember. Harold, maybe?
They're the guys with the bricks.
I just called them the loan sharks throughout. We got Kingpin here, basically, and two British zippers with him coming to shake down Mac because, he owes money all over town, basically, it seems like.
Yeah, things aren't going great for him, apparently, so what happens when things aren't going the way of a strange character we've never seen before? They call in a favor from Jem and the Holograms.
Mac gets literally turned upside down here, so the British zipper...
Shake his ankles!
So the British zipper can shake him free of his money. And as he
carries loose money on them. No matter how hard you shake me, and I'm not a wealthy woman, no money is falling out of me.
Your wallet will probably fall out and it'll just, oh, cool.
No, my wallet is gigantic and I keep it in either a backpack or a purse. Zippers! The actual implement, not the character.
While Mac is upside down, he sees this music video with Jem, and right next to it is a poster for Beauty and the Beast for some reason, and...
Wait! I have an idea!
The gears start turning in his head here, where he's got the foxiest idea of his whole career!
Foxiest, huh?
Mac is gonna put on a rock opera of Beauty and the Beast, and lead Loan Shark Kingpin or whoever is just like, oh yeah, who's gonna be Beauty?
That's the only thing he's concerned about, not how many characters, and who are those actors gonna be as well?
How much is it gonna cost? How about?
Who cares? No, but I'm a big fan of the Beauty character.
And Mac goes, Jim?
Ew!
Jim! I'm saying Jim, but no, let's say, what is that? That sounds more, because that's...
You're getting Australian on me.
Yeah, I was going to say, that reminds me of the Flight of the Conchords joke with Brett Britt.
Yep.
There we go, New Zealand or Australia, whatever.
Moana came up as a conversation topic at my workplace, and I wasn't part of it, but some of my coworkers were talking, and when they spoke about the character that Jermaine voices, one of my bosses was like, yeah, I think he's just Australian. And I went, actually, he's from New Zealand. I got to experience that TV comedy joke in real life.
All that work Flight of the Conchords put in, goddammit.
Nope, sorry. New Zealand folk comedy duo.
So we fade to Jerica. We have a Charlie Adler delivery man here.
Great.
Because Eric had 3 lines in this episode, we need to pay him a little bit more. He's here to give a package to Jem, and it's just the flat, most Charlie Adler voice possible, and I loved it. I laughed out loud when I heard it, because he just didn't even bother.
Nope. Hi, it's the thing, and it's for Jem. How come Jem can get mail if she's not legally a person? I know we've talked about Jem's passport before as well, but I want to make it known that I'm still annoyed at that. If I ever meet Christy Marks, I'm gonna wrap my fingers around her neck lovingly, and I'm gonna, straighten the necklace she's wearing, and I'm gonna take my hands away politely and then go, "Excuse me, Christy Marks, how come Jem can get a passport?" And she's gonna look me in the eyes and say it's a cartoon, and then she's gonna slap me across the face.
And that exact scenario is going to play. When that scenario is over, you're going to be like, yep, expected that.
Yeah, I will not be surprised in the slightest. Do you like how I backed off of the fact that I said I was going to physically assault Christy Marks? I want to actually do that. I'm very small and non-threatening. Also, my hands are very small. I could never choke someone.
The package is labeled urgent, and we find that there are already 2 plane tickets to London. Well, I say 2. There's more than 2. She pulls out 2. But
how did Mac know how many to buy? How did Mac have the money to buy all these tickets?
I don't know, Kristen.
Logistics.
It's very flimsy. Everyone gathers around to see what the hubbub is. Max sent a letter to Jem that included the airline tickets here as well as the script and a contract for production. Couldn't the tickets have waited until she signed the contract, Kristen?
Nah, Joe, the entire band needed to be super excited about how they were definitely going to London for the first time.
Sincerely, Red Johnny Mac. Aja and Kimber look at each other and they say Red Johnny Mac.
Johnny Mac?
Red Johnny
John
Mac.
Mac.
Red John Mac. John McIntosh.
Blackbeard.
Also, he invited Jem, but Jerica is the one looking over the script, which takes her a full hour, and everyone is sitting, watching, well, what do you think, Jerica? They sat there and watched her read the script for an hour, Kristen.
Do you think that made her read a little bit slower? Just broke her concentration a little bit? Like, oh my god, Kimber, stop staring at me, and also stop popping your gum!
Jerica says she thinks they should do it. London, here we come, again.
Jesus. Go somewhere else! I say that, but then in the next episode, they're going very somewhere else.
Fade to coming soon. Jem as Beauty and the Beast, which Kristen immediately made me think of a movie that I have never seen. Philip Seymour Hoffman's character, his Jesus Christ Superstar thing in Along Came Polly.
Where he plays Jesus and Judas.
Correct.
I've also never seen Along Came Polly. I'm pretty sure our mom told us about that joke.
That is correct.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Philip Seymour Hoffman. The holograms arrive via limo here. Rio is with them because they had to bring Rio, I guess.
Why?
So he could be jealous, I guess. Jem is also in her Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, of course,
Good.
which she has now worn for a combined 35 seconds, maybe, across these last 2 episodes.
She's getting in the spirit of the theater.
Mac introduces himself here. Jem introduces the holograms and Rio, their road manager. And if we didn't just do this joke in the Stinger Sit Town, I would again give all the holograms incorrect names, implying that Jem doesn't know who they are.
I really want to repeat it again, but I'm not going to.
Mac kisses the hand of every hologram, and I was going to make the joke.
He does respond back and forth. Charmed, delighted, whatever. And I don't know why, but for some reason, I just want to always dunk on Rhea. But getting to Rhea and him being like, you're fine.
I was going to make the joke as well that he also kisses Rio's hand, but Rio is the one to make the comment, I'm surprised you didn't kiss my hand, too.
Why didn't I get to take part in this sexual tension? Doesn't seem fair.
Mac also introduces some characters who have very little impact on the plot here. We've got Zero Jones from Malibu.
Sounds like a Fallout character.
Zero Jones, I don't know many people who have the first name Zero, other than Zero Mostel, who played Max Bialystock in the original producers. I don't know any other people named Zero, Kristen.
You know someone named Zero?
Zero from Mega Man X!
The character Zero from the Shia LaBeouf movie Holes.
Whoa!
Which is gonna be on Netflix soon. I tweeted at you about it and you didn't respond to me.
I forgot, I'm sorry.
I'm very excited about Holes.
We've also got Yoji Yakamura, who is a techno artist of the highest quality.
He also has a racist accent.
Kinda. I mean, okay, so the whole thing with Yoji here, and he has more lines than Zero.
Also, hey, props to this fucking cartoon. I believe Yoji Yakamura is an actual Japanese name.
Yoji, as well, he's the designer of the Beast, even though Matt calls him a techno artist, which I thought meant, like, techno artist, unless I guess it's like
Dong, 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 dong.
literal technology artist, because I don't know. But either way, Yoji shows off his design here for the Beast, which is a traditional Wolfman look, complete with a computer-generated effect that's showing up on his drawing somehow,
Harry
and
Potter.
also making spark noises.
Great. Apparently they haven't ironed down these details just yet, because Zero was like, yo, cool! I've never seen this before. When does this production open?
I just had a great idea. There's gonna be a power plant castle with a giant turbine in the living room.
You haven't built it yet?
Shouldn't there be sketches? Or, like, how quickly was this costume made, too?
Everyone's just working off the dome. Like, God bless them, they get it done, so I guess they are geniuses. What are they doing with Mac, who is a sad sack who's in a lot of debt?
Jem looks very interested in all of this, but Rio may as well be turning up his fucking nose. How dare you ruin this fine French play? Me, Rio Pacheco, of very French descent.
Rio Pacheco, thespian.
It's crazy, but beautiful, Jem remarks.
That's the catchphrase, right? Truly crazy and beautiful. Wow! Jem!
Rehearsals start tomorrow at 7 a.m. sharp. Don't miss the 5 a.m. bus. Blech.
I'm still stuck on me trying to fit crazy but beautiful into the truly outrageous lyrics.
We diagonal wipe to the Misfits at this point. Kristen, I forgot the Misfits were in this episode.
Yeah, I did too. They don't do much.
They don't do much, no. Pizzazz isn't very perturbed by the fact that Jem is going to be playing Beauty, because Eric is the person going to the Misfits like, look what Jem's doing!
It's like they have their back and forth of one of them goes, Jem is doing this, and the other one goes, so what? And then the other one goes, this is why you should care, and the other one goes, fuck!
Eric says that if this is a hit, Jem is going to be an international star. Kristen! Jem and the Holograms went to China in the 10th fucking episode of the series!
Invited to play at the Great Wall of China, so they were Alicia Keys tier already.
Invited to Morvania!
Like, to do a command performance for a royal family.
Whatever.
This is their 3rd time in England.
Do you think that by the time of Renaissance Woman, if they weren't international stars, that Jem and the Holograms just went to this fucking Ren Fair in England and they're like, who are these ladies? Who are these people from America?
There are no TVs or radios in Morvania. We don't know what the fuck is up.
Pizzazz sees where Eric is coming from, and she turns around and asks Jeddah if she'd like a trip back home to merry old England, and Jeddah
doesn't say anything. It just kind of is tight on her face, and she's making a stupid shit face.
She's making a very awkward smile. And my note was, whoa, Reddy! Were we there a few weeks ago?
Shut up!
Wipe to Jem and Company. Rio is wearing his shitty yellow and white jumper thing. I forget what. He's had enough. This and the cobblestone sweater are quickly becoming Rio's other than the fucking frumpy gray sweater, his most common fashions, and I hate all of them.
Me too. It's weird because I don't like the frumpy gray jacket, but I feel like seeing the worst things that he wears just kind of annoys me more. So I'd rather just stay with the default.
Mac wants to take some pictures of Jem and Company with some promo items, and I wrote at this point, why are they all getting their pictures taken? Isn't Jem going to be the only one in the show? And we find out that sisters, so... Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about the original Beauty and the Beast story. I know about Disney, and I don't remember no sisters in that one.
I was going to say, I don't remember Belle alright, so I took some time, Kristen, to look up some stuff about the story, because I was like, this seems more like Cinderella than Beauty and the Beast. What's going on?
Uh-huh.
And
we're not big Disney people.
As it turns out, the original Beauty and the Beast story, there are 6 children of the dude who steals the rose in the original story and the electric guitar in this one. Mm-hmm. 3 daughters, 3 sons. The sons, whatever, I guess they became Gaston in the movie, I'm going to assume. Because I didn't read anything about Gaston in there either, so...
No hot guy.
The sisters, there weren't 4 of them, first of all.
Yeah.
But they did act like basically the wicked stepsisters, where they were just, treating Beauty like a servant, basically, the entire time, and they were jealous of her. Yes.
Is her name Beauty?
Yes.
In this version, one of the first things I thought was, you know how to sow discontent among your children? Name one of them Beauty. And that one's homely. That one's... she'll get there. That one is... Man, what happened? And the other one is Kimber.
That one is Uggo.
Kimber Uggo Benton.
I believe, yes, Kristen, in the original story, she is named Beauty, which I believe probably because not that it sounds stupid, but it's one of those things where it's like, huh? Where,
I guess it's like just a different language sort of thing where, as an adjective and also a name, yeah, sure, Belle might be a name that people use. It's like in America how some people are named Tuesday.
Belle does mean beauty in French. So, yeah, there we go.
In America, we just don't have an equivalent of a name that means just beautiful.
We gotta use those borrowed words.
Yup.
So we have the pictures here, Kristen, which there are about 3 separate sequences of people taking pictures of Jem, and Jem gets progressively like, fuck, as they go on.
Her frown gets bigger with every picture. Literally frowning, her mouth is falling off of her face.
And this goes on for probably 5 or 10 more seconds than it should, because it's just kind of awkward of just like, here, pose for the picture. Oh yeah, that's great.
They need to really drive it home that Jem is going to die of exhaustion.
Yeah, Jem goes, all right, let's just start rehearsals before we're too pooped to continue.
I would like to point out at this section of the episode, there is never an underlying purpose stated for why the promotion is so important. I assume, again, it's just part of the marketing and to get more money, as much money as possible, using Jem's name out of this production, but they never say how it impacts everything. So at this point, it just seemed like Mac is kind of a dick.
Yeah, it's kind of weird with Mac here. I mean, we'll kind of keep going.
He doesn't get any kind of, like, hey, don't work your co-stars into exhaustion, like, lesson at the end of the episode. He gets rich at the end of the episode.
We fade to rehearsal. Jem comments that the set is great and commends Mac, but Rio's,
You built it so fast!
Wait a minute, where's Mac?
Oh, he's gone.
He left with the photographer. So we have here the first scene of, old dude, worker man, whatever, in the midst of this fucking turbines area. There's an electric guitar hanging out next to a turbine.
Of course, that's where I put mine.
And he picks it up, and we hear off in the distance, "Nah!"
And Sparky Beast shows up, like, I just took a towel out of the dryer, and now I'm all staticky.
Who steals my property?
No, we're doing this, huh?
Yeah, I did right at this point. Oh, I guess we're rehearsing.
Sure. An unreasonable amount of this episode is just scenes from this play that doesn't make a shitload of sense. So Dad here is like, oh no, I didn't want to steal it. It's a flimsy excuse.
I was gonna take it for my daughter Beauty because her and her sisters are in a band.
It's still stealing, you dick.
And the Beast sets the parameters again in the original story, Kristen. It's a rose, whatever. In this one here, it's the electric guitar, where...
This seems a little bit more of a reasonable reaction. It's like, oh, you stole one rose from my rose garden, that's still trespassing and that sucks and everything. But this is like, you stole a golden electric guitar that I just had on the floor. That's actual theft, fuck you.
You will give me your daughter in order to spare your life.
Either give me the one good daughter or all of the combined bad ones. I'll take either.
If Beauty refuses, the workman will be his slave, and then again he goes, bah! And there's electric noise, and that's gonna I'm gonna be screaming away from my microphone a lot in this episode.
I'm prepared for it. The Beast is very stupid.
Fade to the next scene. The workman comes home with his guitar to be greeted by Jem Beauty here, who I'm going to refer to either as Jem or Beauty, so please try to keep up.
Beauty.
The sisters are the holograms, as we said before. Somehow Kimber got made lead sister here.
It's because of her real-life experience in the role.
And here's where, yes, I said there's some weird Cinderella elements going on here, because they're like, where's dinner, Beauty? We're famished!
They learned their craft from watching The Misfits.
I did put here, basically they act like the Misfits, which I'm sure is very fun for the holograms.
They're dressed kind of like the Misfits, too. Rhea sounds like she's taking this really seriously. I feel like she has some pent-up aggression that she's not getting out in her day-to-day life.
Rhea, who Christy Marks describes as soft-spoken, puts on a really harsh voice for her role as evil sister here, and when she speaks, whatever her 2 lines are when we get to hear it, I'm just like, whoa! Whoa.
She also loses all trace of her accent.
That too, to the point where I'm not sure if the person who normally voices Rhea voices her in this episode.
It's really hard to tell.
So Kimber's sister is basically just like, oh, look at this guitar! I'm gonna take it! And then Rhea and Kimber both kind of fight over it, and the dad is like, no, I meant it for Beauty! Ugh.
Again, Sowing discontent among your children. Only get one of them a solid gold electric guitar.
Well, to be fair, Kristen, so in the original story of Beauty and the Beast, the dad character goes off, he was like a merchant or something, and all of his fleet was destroyed, so they had to like go to a farm place to work, so they're not really like peasants, they just gotta work for a living. He learns that one of his boats from the fleet was recovered, or like wasn't destroyed, so he goes off to like get his riches or whatever, and is like, hey, I'll get you some gifts while I'm gone. What do you want? The son said, like, horses and shit for battle, horses and swords or whatever. The daughters say, jewelry and luxurious shit, and Beauty says a rose, and that's it. And...
Well, okay, maybe they should have given us a scene where Beauty was like, you know what I want more than anything in the world, dear father?
Electric guitar.
A solid gold electric guitar, even though I don't play guitar.
But he comes back because something happens with the ship where it needs to be sold to cover his debt, so he has no money, and he couldn't get any gifts.
If he couldn't get any of the other gifts, why get one for one of your kids?
Because he saw the fucking rose garden when he was in the Beast Castle, and then he stole the rose. He's like, oh, cool, I can get one gift at least.
That's still stealing.
It's still
I'm saying...
You're right. No, you're right.
The Beast was right. He should have eaten the dad.
The dad explains the previous scene, basically, and, Kimber gets all jealous and shit.
He also works for the Beast in this version, so his ass knew he was stealing. He's like, I thought that guitar was abandoned. You thought a guitar was abandoned? It's a musical instrument.
Ah, fuck, he's got 1 million of them. Who gives a shit?
They don't show us that, so I don't buy it. Fuck you personally, Joe.
But of course, Beauty, the goody-goody that she is willing to stay with the Beast, so...
And the sisters are like, ha ha.
We fade to the next scene. Jem arrives, which we have this exterior shot that's used twice that probably shouldn't be used in the play because you don't have exterior shots in a play, first of all. So...
What is this, a movie version of the musical? Like Jesus Christ Superstar 2000?
Jem arrives, and the Beast goes, "Meh, you must be Beauty.
Ugh, what gave it away?
Sit and dine with me.
I'm hungry.
That was not an invitation. You're mine."
So this is going great, this introduction. I can see how they fall in love.
So the Beast kind of like grabs Jem by the shoulders and pulls her in and is just like, "Do I disgust you? It does not matter, because in time, I will win your love."
And then Jem says, "You'll never win my love." It's very natural and not at all jarring.
She doesn't, though. It goes right to song number 1 of the... So she sings "You'll Never Win My Love."
Oh. See, I just assumed. I just watched the episode. And I assumed they needed to be even more blatant about it.
Song number 1 of the evening, "You'll Never Win My Love," which, Kristen, visually, there is nothing going on in this song.
It's supposed to be them performing it for this rock opera, so they don't really, like, you would think they would be capable of doing something a little bit more interesting, but it just doesn't happen.
Even then, Kristen, you think in big ol' theater plays and shit, there should be, like, a chorus coming in or something.
Where are those other characters? Dress Kimber up like a teapot and have her spin around a little bit. Jesus.
There should be, like, choreography?
Yeah, maybe, instead of just circling around things and staring at each other. What is this? Jesus Christ Superstar 2000. Lots
of Jem backing up, lots of electrical noises here, stuff getting pushed over, and that's basically it.
If you abuse me, then you'll lose me. Do you think the song was about Riot?
Kristen.
They took a flower in its prime, and then they used it, and they abused it. Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and Riot.
No. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
So, Kristen, you brought up something there of, shouldn't this song have been used for Riot? Now,
or was it originally written to be like, hey, Riot, literally stop being a dick or I'm not gonna like you?
I really feel like, considering this is among those string of episodes where they seem like leftover scripts from season 2, because again, Stinger's nowhere to be found in this episode. We see Eric and we see the Misfits. We don't see the outside of Stinger's sound at this point, so we don't, there's no outside shot or whatever, so we don't know. The Stinger's nowhere to be found. So this, for all we know, Kristen,
look homeless and poor just yet.
For all we know, this episode is in the, timeline-wise in season 2 before the Stingers show up, or was written before then. So I think that there's a lot of coincidences between what goes on with Jem and the Beast here and what goes on with Riot.
Yeah, what just happened in the Stingers hit town.
Basically, yeah. But
it seems really coincidental to the point where I'm not totally buying it. I also wonder if there was a version of this where at the very end it's like, who is playing the Beast? Oh, it was Riot? Where the fuck are Minx and Rapture then?
That's my big problem, because you suggested that earlier too, because it's like they couldn't have Riot be the Beast and have Minx and Rapture not be doing like C&D plot stuff in the episode.
Minx and Rapture were just having a whole episode long makeout session.
So the Beast picks up a chair to hit Jem.
Nice!
After the song is over. End of segment 1. Segment 2 starts. Jem goes, "Kill me if you will, but I would rather die than suffer your tyranny."
Jeez. Calm down, drama queen.
So another piece of the story here, Kristen, and I don't know if this happens in the Beauty and the Beast movie because I don't remember.
The cartoon?
The cartoon movie, yes, not the 2017 movie. Or was that this year that came out?
Or was that last year?
Whatever.
I didn't see it.
Either way, what happens in the story is, in order to win the love of Belle, Beauty, whomever, the Beast is just like, "Hey, you're in charge now, so I'm going to give you everything you ever wanted." And this is where he's just kind of like, "Ooh, I don't know about this. Material things, I don't like it."
That sounds like somebody who's never had student loan debt.
We'll see that later when Jem dreams about this play.
Yep.
The Beast puts the chair down and continues to go, "Bleh," and
They really didn't know how to end this scene, huh?
fucking Ringo comes over here in his green jumpsuit and talking in his Liverpool accent, saying that they need to do some more work on the set. And I'm not going to attempt to do a Liverpool accent.
I thought we might build a yellow submarine.
Close enough.
An octopus's garden.
Jem goes, "No, we have a scene to finish. Where is the Beast? Oh!"
She, starts to seize up and, twitch on the floor like, "Oh, the Beast." And Rio was like, "What the fuck?" Rightfully so, for once in his life.
Jem goes to the Beast's dressing room here, only to find Mac. The Beast left, but Mac congratulated him on his performance.
It wasn't me, I'm not the Beast.
Kristen, they alluded so hard to Mac being the Beast that I was convinced that he would not be the Beast by the end of the episode, and I was very angry when he turned out to be the Beast.
Joe, this is a cartoon for children.
Kristen, there's cliches, Kristen, and maybe it wasn't that big of a cliche in the 80s. I don't know, but it's like you allude that hard, there has to be a swerve.
Just so much foreshadowing that you're like, this is a red herring.
Literal red herring.
Like in Monkey Island, where you have to feed a bridge troll a literal red herring, and underneath his troll outfit, it turns out it's George Lucas, and he just eats the fish hole.
Mac has red hair, Kristen.
Oh, whatever.
Jem goes, "I can't wait to meet him in person."
You did.
And Mac goes, "You might not even like him."
What the fuck is this conversation?
But now it's time for more promotion. It's Mac's bread and butter after all, and Jem's just like, "Fuck. Oh, come on." Yes.
How long have they been in England?
Days?
See, because I feel like this makes it seem like they've literally been there for a single day so far. They built the set in 2 hours. They sold all the costumes.
Well, we see Jerrica in her hotel room at this point, and this is the first time we're seeing the hotel. So you'd think, oh, yeah, this is the first day. But I assume that because he said that rehearsals start tomorrow earlier, that, okay, we're at least on this is day 2, at least.
Okay.
Jerrica's in her hotel room practicing here, saying, "But I miss my family.
But you have no right to detain him.
But I miss my family. But I miss my right to detain him."
Workshop it.
Jerrica yawns. She misses her sleep.
Hey, quick question. Is Jerrica supposed to be here? Think on that for a second.
Kristen, I don't like when we get into this. We're gonna hit a brick wall every time.
Does she need her own hotel room? How fancy is she?
Jerrica dreams about the play, getting all these fine dresses. She turns all of them down. None of them please her, clearly. Oh, but on the contrary, they're the most beautiful fashions I've ever seen. But this is not the way to my heart.
I won't give you anything.
My freedom.
No, anything but that.
Oh, I put Meatloaf blaring in brackets here, and I forgot what that meant for a second, and then I remembered, and I would do anything for love,
Okay, so, hold on there for a second, Tom Servo.
Yes.
Madeline and I watched this episode last week because we watched Video Wars, and then this was the next one on, so we watched it as well. When it got to this part, Madeline looked at me and said, "So Joe's gonna reference Meatloaf there."
God damn it! No!
Madeline got you.
Fuck! I'm legitimately shook.
Sorry, Joe, you've become predictable. You need to quit podcasting now.
Oh no. But no, the beast instead goes, meh! And then we see Kimber trying to wake Jerrica up from the dream here, and it's already
And then Kimber is going, brah!
And it's already time to go to the theater. Jerrica's still tired as shit, and Kimber's like, everyone's tired. Shut up.
Oh no, I'm the lead in this rock opera. Kimber's like, I'm a dumb sister. But in real life and in the play.
We fade to the theater. Zero shows off the completed set here, which garners an outrageous from Kimber, which is the first we've had in a while for that. And Rio even compliments the lights, Kristen.
Rio, stop doing this to yourself, my man.
Jem doesn't give a shit. Where, beast?
Where'd he go, though?
Rio is jealous of an electric wolf man, Kristen, commenting that that's all Jerrica seems she can think about. So Rio, from this point on in the episode, Kristen, is the worst.
Unfortunately, I mean, you have to see this from Rio's perspective. Jem has suddenly and inexplicably turned into a furry, and the only thing that she can think about is yiffin'.
That's part of the problem, too, is this is one of those things where I can't blame Rio for being a dick because Jerrica's being stupid. And it ends up to the point where they're both being terrible, but Rio gets the worst lines.
And then, well, I guess it's because there's an unsatisfying conclusion at the end of this where everything is just hand-waved, and it's like, okay, it's fine. Not sorry we were both dicks to each other. Yeah, it's cool.
The beast shows up, and Jem definitely has Goo Yif Eyes for this wolf dude, and...
Ew. Google Yif Eyes is, that's a combination of words if I ever heard one.
And Rio needs to stop being such a whiner.
You get a role as Beauty in this rock opera, and then you get to complain, Rio.
The scene begins, Jem and the beast are having dinner, and there are like flamenco dancers in the back.
Why?
For some reason.
We have 3 people, and all of them have castanets. Aren't you enjoying this?
Are you happy? Do you like the flamenco dancers?
They're not as good as my dad is at flamenco dancing. I miss him.
So the stage starts spinning for some reason, and we find out there is a reason for this. The Misfits are here.
The Misfits are starring in the very first production of Hamilton with the stage turntables. I don't know if you've seen any footage from the live productions of Hamilton, but part of the stage is that there's a very big circle with a smaller circle inside of it, and they can, throughout the show, either turn in the same direction or opposite directions, and that's part of the choreography.
Which works.
Yeah. Does not work great here. Someone definitely gets their head caught in the seam between the front and back of the stage, and it gets popped off. I assume.
So Yoji goes, "Stop! You'll ruin everything!"
And Pizzazz says, "That's the idea, P-Brain." So
Rio and the Ringo security force arrive in their green jumpsuits to have the Misfits escorted out here.
They didn't have any chefs around to act as security, so Rio and Ringo will have to do.
I was gonna say, one of them came from the craft services table. Cheese sandwich still in hand.
No, Joe, Ringo came from an octopus's garden.
Jem asks what the hell happened, and Rio goes, "Oh, it's just the Misfits. Like, this is a well, okay, so it is probably a common thing. But still."
I like how this conversation kind of rolls out, which is Rio being like, "It was the Misfits. Oh, but don't you worry, Jem. Rio has got your back. I personally escorted them out." And then spit gum into Pizzazz's hair. And Jem's like, "Okay, let's start from the top, then where's the beast?"
And Rio walks away going, "Oh, thank you, Rio. Don't mention it, Rio."
Rio, how about you shut the fuck up? He's so shitty and terrible.
What is this episode doing to my main man, Rio, Kristen? God, he's such a jackass.
He's suddenly your main man? That's interesting.
The scene starts from the top. Jem says how much she misses her family, her boyfriend.
Ooh.
I'm tired. I'm wasted. I love you, darling.
What are we doing?
Song number 2 of the evening. Let Me Go, which we're going to play for you right now.
Let me go, set me free, and let me fly.
If you go, don't you know that I will die?
Let me go, I will see you soon again.
If you go, I will be the unhappiest of men.
Let me go, I'll return to you, I swear. Let me go, in your dreams I'll still be there.
Let me go, you must pack your bags and go.
Though I go, I'll be back before you know. Let me go, I'll return to you.
You're tearing me apart, beauty.
So this song kind of shows up out of nowhere, Kristen.
Sure does.
So if we are led to believe, again, Beauty she misses her father and sisters and boyfriend apparently terribly here, but through the song, like the song ends with them kissing. So where did this love come from?
Oh, mamma mia, mamma mia.
Mamma mia, let me go.
Yeah. Sorry, I got really bored by this song.
I like Let Me Go a lot, Kristen, but part of my problem is, now I understand that we're only seeing scenes of the play, so maybe it developed more or whatever. I mean, just in a sense where if the music is going to be part of...
We only have 24 minutes. We got to keep it going.
Pretty much. So, whatever. We've got basically... There's nothing going on visually in this song either. They're just kind of... It's a lot of walking somewhere, turning away, walking at the other person as they turn away.
Why I didn't see it there before. That's the only part of that song I know.
I don't even know what song you're doing there.
I didn't see it there before from Beauty and the Beast. I don't know the actual name. It's the montage of Belle falling in love with the Beast.
Oh, okay. Well, at least they left it to a montage in the movie, too.
It was.
They run and hug, and they're in love, and they kiss, and... whatever. Song ends. Rio claps, says it's a real showstopper,
Rio,
Jem.
don't break my concentration!
Again, the Beast is gone, and Jem go... Jem can't even speak anymore.
Her brain is just Yip City.
Rio is finally just like, can you stop thinking about fucking the Beast for one goddamn second, please?
It's making me really uncomfortable.
So they head back to the hotel for dinner here. It's time to go back and just like, let's calm down. How about?
Go eat some food, take a nap, get your yayas out, Jem.
Don't collapse.
Please.
Rio is still complaining loudly as well, even as they're back at the hotel, this time about how much promotion Jem and company need to do. He'd tell Mac himself that they're working him to the bone if he could ever find the guy.
Isn't it like the most uncomfortable thing in the entire universe when all of a sudden, in a situation that you thought was totally chill, one person has a big problem with another person who's around? And they don't seem to care that you're getting real uncomfortable at them whining at each other?
Yeah, because, I mean, Rio just keeps going. Rio does not stop. Maybe we should quit this show before you collapse. How about you? What are you doing in the show, Rio? How about you don't tell other people when to quit?
How about you write up a sleep and nap schedule if it's so important? How about you do anything useful instead of standing around being like, this sucks?
Jem says it's what they signed up for, which is true, and then Rio makes it all about this again, where he's just like, I think you want to stay because you want to yiff.
See, this is crazy on a couple of levels. The first one is that Jem is obsessed with this stupid static cling costume. The second is that Rio seems to understand that she's obsessed with the static cling costume.
And yet, Jem's response is, Rio the Beast is a character. He's not real. Are you jealous of a character in a show? Says Jem. Says Jem, who is in love with a character in a show.
Was that line supposed to be for someone else? Wouldn't that have made like 10 times more sense if like Shayna said it?
It would have made much more sense, yes, rather than Jem saying it.
This is the worst.
They get off the elevator, and Jem's like, besides, I'm not that tired. Ugh.
She faints with her head inside the elevator. When the door is closed, she gets decapitated. Carousel of progress.
End of segment 2, Jem fainted.
Jem decapitated.
Start of segment 3, they sew Jem's head back on.
Thank God.
They're all at Jem's bedside here.
Why do I suddenly feel like this is not the first time we've said that Jem's gotten her head popped off her shoulders?
Kristen, I'm sure a lot of stuff has happened to Jem.
She's been through a lot, to be fair.
Jem had a hard life. Everyone's at Jem's bedside here, and the doctor says she'll be fine after a few weeks rest, and Rhea goes, but what about the show?
And Rio says, get it, Rhea!
Whoa.
She's a teenager!
Rhea really thought her big break was going to be as sister number 4, Kristen.
I guess so. She did a good job.
Jem is near delirious as she's like, but the show must go on.
This is an amazing representation of what I felt like this morning after drinking an entire bottle of soju.
Avenge me!
Oh my God!
Avenge me!
Why is it so hot in here?
Also, Kristen, isn't this what understudies are for?
They don't have any!
Time for Kimber and the Beast, starring Kimber.
Hell yes, as Kimber and the Beast. Kimber Christ Superstar.
Kimber's idea is actually, let's go find the Misfits.
Okay.
So they knock on Pizzazz's door here, wherever they found out where the Misfits are, whatever. And
they left a trail of cookies.
Pizzazz refers to them as the sweethearts of Sigma Chi. I don't know what that means, Kristen.
I think she's calling them a sorority and it's supposed to be an insult.
Apparently, The Sweetheart of Sigma Chi is a frat song.
Huh.
I didn't listen to it, so I don't know. I don't know.
Alright, Pizzazz, that's a deep cut.
Pizzazz has a really smug face, and Kimber is about to throw hands with this bitch, but she gets held back.
So the Misfits are conscripted to be Pizzazz and the Beast. Starring Pizzazz.
The scene changes, the holograms and Rio step into Mac's office to talk. Mac is just now finding out the Gem is too exhausted to go on.
Keep the promoter in the loop, please.
But what will happen to the show?
Does no one have any courtesy for each other in this fucking cartoon? What are these professional relationships that they should be, like, fostering and taking care of? What? Did the concept of networking not get invented until the 90s? I don't understand.
The Misfits are willing to do it, but Mac is like, but I don't want the Misfits!
Why do the holograms act as if they are somehow doing them a favor when I feel like they make it so clear that they know that the Misfits are not good at acting in the first place? Say whatever you want about the taste of the general public, the holograms have made it known that they don't like the Misfits music. This person, Mac, is someone they ostensibly like, and they're sabotaging his fucking show!
They probably think they're doing a good thing, even... Okay, again, here's where understudies would have been a good thing. Maybe if they... Okay, so you can't bring Pizzazz
So it's
into
Mac's fault.
Yeah, you can't bring... Yes, Kristen.
I buy that. He really should have just gotten some fucking understudies.
Mac likens it to the story where Beauty never comes back after saying she will, and the Beast dies, except this time the entire production dies.
That's not what happens, so you should know there's a good actual ending.
It's now preview night. The Misfits in Beauty and the Beast. The Misfits inside Beauty and the Beast.
So I want Stormer to play Beauty and Pizzazz to play the Beast. And then it's perfect. And Jet is the dad.
Yeah.
No, Jet is the candlestick that's French.
Mac is talking with Yoji, saying that he really needs to crank up the stupid electricity on the Beast if this production is going to be saved.
More power.
So Kingpin shows up at this point here, and he goes, "You fibbed to me, Mac! You said it was gonna be Gem, and now it's the Misfits! Oh, I don't like the Misfits!"
No one does in England, apparently. I think it's all Jetta's reputation.
Mac says that he doesn't like the Misfits either, and just then Pizzazz arrives to shut them both up because they could feel that fucking devil energy coming from her.
She does say that, like, okay, idiots, if you don't like me that much, then none of us will go on, and then you won't have any show.
Yeah, they're basically just like, yep.
Fair.
That's fair. So, the Misfits are all wearing the clothes that the sisters wore earlier, other than Kimber's dress just is... Okay, so again, this creates a problem where there were 4 sisters earlier, but now there are 3.
Whatever. They'd split some lines up.
We fade to Gem in bed. She wakes up and she's like, wow, I really needed that good night's sleep. Wow.
Feeling great now. All ready to go. All right, shall we get back to work? Why is everyone looking very depressed and scared?
Gem, you've been out cold for 4 days. To which I made the reference to the original ending of Army of Darkness, with Ash going, "I slept too long!" Army of Darkness is a good movie. You should watch that.
I've never even heard of it.
It's the 3rd Evil Dead movie.
Nope.
Nope, don't know anything about Evil Dead.
Nothing.
Don't know anything about Bruce Campbell.
That's not Bruce Willis.
It's definitely not Bruce Willis.
So I can't make any comments about Ashton Kutcher.
Either way, Army of Darkness, good movie.
Cool.
Gem is pissed because the Misfits took over. The holograms meant well, but clearly
Maybe if you sleep once in a while, you wouldn't have these problems. These, hey, self-made problems. Also, may I point out, Gem missed the last 4 days of rehearsal, so whatever happens from here to the end of this cartoon, just keep that bullshit in mind.
Kristen, I think part of the problem was they weren't really given a lot of time to rest.
Then that's one of those things where, say something sooner. Value your physical and mental health. It's more important than anything. That's why I take breaks from work a lot.
The holograms meant well, but clearly that don't mean shit to Gem.
Nope. Don't do me any favors, you bitches.
They all head to the theater. Apparently the Misfits acting somehow got worse since the Misfits hit it big, where Roxy is basically like, well, don't tell me that you are sad if the Beastie Boy is going to die.
First of all, nice Beastie Boys reference. Secondly, this reminds me of the Team Star Kid production, Starship. One of the characters in it is a android, and her actress made a deliberate choice to speak all of her lines as if she were a GPS. You would love me, even though I am not real.
And we've got Pizzazz, who is literally reading from the script on stage, and then just throws it aside, saying it stinks. She stands up, she's just like, all right, time for Pizzazz, one-woman show, here we go.
Let me tell you about my interpretation of Beauty and the Beast.
Boo.
What the fuck? Pizzazz is an artist, let her have her art.
The audience hates it. Rio is in his cobblestone sweater, because of course he is, as Jem and company arrive, and Jem's like, I'm fine, I can get on stage. Yoji, if Mac will have me back, I want to finish the play. She turned into William Shatner.
I guess so.
As Pizzazz walks off stage here, Jem's like, all right, I can take it from here. But Pizzazz ain't giving up that easily. Pizzazz is here to stay.
For some reason, the Loan Sharks, two zippers and Squat Man, just pick Pizzazz up and leave.
And Pizzazz does her, you can't do this to me. I'm Phyllis motherfucking Pizzazz Gabor.
Her head spins around. She pukes on them. Much like I did this morning.
Those people are dead as soon as they leave. The curtain opens on the Beast dying. Oh, Beauty, where are you? You promised you'd return.
And there are hecklers at this show.
We've got Jetta in the audience going, you better over there.
Pizzazz sucks.
I am here.
That's right.
Says Jem as the audience applauds here, hopefully so loud that they don't hear the Beast flub his line and go, Beauty!
So, it seems to me that Jem shows up for the last song in this musical, and all of his people sat through Pizzazz and the Misfits doing the rest of the show.
Good things come to those who wait, Kristen.
It still turns out to be a hit. Okay.
Jem says she came back because she cared too much.
But I am a beast. Can you love a beast?
Many men are handsome, but they're beasts on the inside.
She's just really avoiding calling him ugly to his face, huh?
Well, on the other hand, Beast, you've got inner beauty.
I'll take it.
Do you want to be my friend?
Looks at the script. Okay, fine.
Song number 3 of the evening, Starlight by Jackie Ben. Oh shit, Our Love Makes You Beautiful.
Starlight
makes you beautiful to me. Starlight. So this song it's not exactly like Starlight, but you hear those first few notes there, and it's definitely Starlight.
Mom, lemonade pack. Boys suck. Become gay.
In the treehouse.
Kimber got that message. Date a girl named Stormer. That's what your mom wants for you.
This song is The Love's Not Easy to Starlight's Set Your Sails. And it's a song that Jem sings to the dying Beast. She caresses his wolf face.
They yiff right there on stage.
And they're like, oh, this is a lot more explicit than I thought it would be.
I guess this is art now.
And then there's some guy being like, the title was The Misfits Inside Beauty and the Beast. I thought it was going to be more explicit.
Ew.
So the Beast starts transforming back into a real dude here, which, Kristen, how do they do this with the costume?
I've seen stage versions of Beauty and the Beast. I say that as if it wasn't one. And I do remember when the Beast transforms, there was an awkward thing where, like, the stage had to dim a little bit and he was rolling around on the ground like, fuck! And he just kind of, like, ripped the prosthetics off of his face.
Oh.
Like, you couldn't see it happening, but I do remember after the makeup coming off thinking, like, how does that come off, like, fairly easily? And he looked fine underneath it. In this one, it fades away like ghost makeup.
It fades away like ghost makeup. I'm reminded, Kristen, of... There was an episode of The Twilight Zone called The Howling Man where, there's some dude who's locked up in a cage, and when he's let out, there's this thing that happens where he walks behind some columns, and he slowly reveals, basically, that he's the devil. And the way that they did it in one, they didn't do, like, multiple shots. It was just he would walk behind a pillar, and they would, like, change the lighting on set to reveal more of the makeup. Like, he already had the makeup on.
Ew.
Yeah, so I probably don't think that's how they would do that with this.
No. This is a cartoon with fake garbage.
It all melts away from Mac. It was Mac, by the way. Was it obvious it was Mac?
Not to you, apparently.
I Again, very angry that it was Mac, because Mac was not an asshole for the episode, but he leaned more toward, I saw
He's
him
not
as
a
more...
good guy.
He seemed more like a Misfits kind of guy than a Gem and the Holograms kind of guy.
Yeah.
Red and Gem dance and kiss, and the audience applauds, and the curtain opens. The actors don't even bow because they're doing their curtain call.
They go, fuck you, and they actually just flip off the crowd.
And then the curtain closes again.
Cool.
Gem commends Mac on his performance. She didn't even know. Mac, you're a real artist and you shouldn't hide it.
He's like, nah, British things.
For some reason, the instrumentation of music and dance is playing in the background. A little sneak preview for next episode.
Great.
And Kingpin and his Brippers congratulate Mac as well. It's a very big hit. We're gonna be rich!
They know that already.
Yoji comes over, Zero comes over, the costume guy comes over. They're all just gonna be like, I sold a bunch of fucking shit! Oh my god!
We sold so many mugs!
But Gem doesn't care about all of that. She walks over to Rio and was like, so Rio,
Who is sulking in the hallway?
what did you think, Rio?
You were fantastic. Have you fallen for that costume that doesn't exist anymore?
And Jim goes, no, come on, no, no, it's, if I found out it was Max, so I'm not, no.
No, I'm not into redheads.
Jem says it was just the allure of the theater. The stage is one thing, real life is another. I know the
I'm not sure.
Jem says to convince herself, I know the difference.
I do. I do know the difference.
I swear I know the difference.
I do know the difference.
Jem and Rio kiss, which gets a standing ovation from the cleaning lady out in the audience here, and that is the end of the episode. Kristen, Mac being the Beast is weird, and it's my biggest problem with the episode, because what the fuck?
This whole episode is weird.
Mac seems like he's supposed to be some skeezy dude, and I don't get it. It's weird. I don't get it. It's weird.
He looks like something bad happened to Gambit.
He got radiated somehow, so his brown hair turned bright red.
And he can't wear pants anymore. He has to wear weird boxers with prints on them that don't make them look like pants you should wear out in real life.
Does he have suspenders too with those?
I can't remember.
Oh, fuck. I think Kristen, though, my assumption is that Mac's accent is just too heavy. With Sir Hugh Ridley and Robin Hood, they sounded kind of dashing, where Mac sounds like Jeddah.
He's her cousin.
I don't know why he needed to keep it a secret from Jem, either. Literally, he transforms on stage, and that's when they find out.
Drama
Why?
of the theater.
Drama of the theater.
I like any episode where Jem acts bazonkers.
And Lord knows we have a ton of those
Yep,
this season.
that's the best thing about season 3.
Jem acts completely ridiculous in this episode, and Rio matches her, acting just as ridiculous, if not more, which, again, is kind of maddening when Rio should be kind of like mild-mannered, I guess, and not crazy.
I still don't understand why they even brought him.
That's a very good question. I don't know either. Either way, that was Beauty and the Rock promoter. I guess overall, would you, I mean, other than it being crazy, it seems like you weren't terribly impressed with the episode, Kristen.
Hey, it was a little bit bazonkers, and that's good. I enjoy that part. It was better than Video Wars.
It was definitely better than Video Wars. I don't know what Music and Dance is like, because I've probably only seen the episode once, because why would I want to watch it twice?
I blocked it out!
Oh no, excuse me, it's a Homeland Heartland. Music and Dance is the name of the song.
Oh, right, yeah.
Either way. It's a dance episode, but we'll get to that in a second here. And now's the point in the evening where I'll list off all of the fun contact things where you can find us. You can follow us on the Twitter machine at CWTAPod. You can follow me at Octopus, that's AWKTAPUS.
You can follow me at FunnyGirlTM, like trademark.
You can find us on the iTunes, on the SoundCloud, on the Stitcher Radio, on the YouTube. Leave a rating, give a review, do whatever you feel like. You can also drop us a line, cwtapod@gmail.com, where you can tell us all about how to put computer effects on something live during a stage show, and why the Beast likes yelling so much, goddamn.
He's like the tonal opposite of Riot.
And, oh yeah, he's all screamy, and Riot's like, and I said we were going to talk about Homeland Heartland, Kristen, but I lied, because next week is part 1 of our amazingly spectacular look into a video game, which we said during the Jim Tacuber, Kristen, would be something we would be trying. It's a little new, it's a little exciting.
Not that new, not that exciting.
Well, for me it is. Not new, it's not new, it's exciting, whatever. We're going to be looking into something rather than Gem and movies. It is the video game Sonic Adventure 2, part 1 of that. As I said, it's going to be a pretty interesting format, so I assume you will be entertained. I know I will be.
You'll take it and you'll like it.
For the Can We Talk About podcast, My name is Joe,
I am Kristen.
and join us next week for part 1 of Sonic Adventure 2.
Checks in the mail.